For Western release of Lost Ark, you'll be able to choose between 15 playable classes, but not all the classes are beginners friendly and easy to learn. In today's video, you will see 4 classes which are friendly to beginners and also very powerful in both PvE and PvP gameplay. Before we start, let me just say, subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more Lost Ark videos in the future. Let's start with Shadowhunter. Demonic is actually the name of this class since the release of the game in Korea, Japan and Russia, but for Western release we have get a change of a name into Shadowhunter, which also sounds really good. Main feature of this class are mid-range spells in combination with melee attacks and access to a very special spell allowing you to transform into demon to greatly increase damage, but not only that. With the ability to transform into demonic version of themselves, they become agile and stronger. Demon form is activated by pressing Z and it will grant you enhanced speed and you are also becoming more tanky. Regarding 2 engravings of this class, Perfect Suppression focuses on Shadowhunter's human form, disabling the demonic transformation and instead improving human form skills. On the other hand, Demonic Impulse focuses on the demon form, allowing it to be used more often and improving critical strike chance. This class is easy to learn, so it's for sure one of the classes of Lost Ark which is beginners friendly, and also regarding combat, it covers a good range of single target skills and AoE skills with pretty short cooldowns. In PvE and in PvP, it will perform very good with nice damage output and mobility. So overall looking, this is one really amazing class to play, and I can highly recommend to you this class if you are a new player, not only because it's easy to learn and because it's performing very good in PvE and in PvP, but also because of another reason. It's a lot of fun to play this class, and once you start to play it, you won't be able to stop. Let's go further with another beginners friendly class, Sharpshooter. Sharpshooter is a ranged class which uses mechanical bows with special arrows, and main characteristic of this class are high survivability and agility. This class have very few close ranged abilities, so if you want to play class which have most of the skills as a long range attacks, then this is a class for you. Don't be confused regarding the name of this class. In other versions of the game in Korea, Russia and Japan, this class is known as Hawkeye. Sharpshooter have very interesting identity skill, which make this class able to summon a hawk. After using it, you'll have 2 options: send it to enemy or make it self-destruct. Whatever you decide, it's a very useful skill. This class perform very good in both PvP and in PvE, but I like it much more in PvP gameplay because of that long range and high mobility, which will make easier for you to survive longer time and also to hit targets from long distance before they can even reach you. However, this class have 2 bad sides. First one, be careful if you engage in melee combat, because then you will feel how squishy you are against melee classes. You must stay most of the time at some distance from your target. Another bad side of this class is that it doesn't have buffs or debuffs which would be useful for your party. Most of other classes of Lost Ark have at least one very useful buff or debuff which will be useful to members of your party, which is important since you will play a big part of Lost Ark endgame content in parties with other players. So Sharpshooter doesn't have a very useful buff for your party. Next class on the list of classes which are beginners friendly is Berserker. Berserker is a warrior class which is very popular and played among many players because it's a beginner friendly class, tanky, not too squishy, and also a class with lots of AoE skills which is very useful in general gameplay of Lost Ark, so for PvP and for PvE content. If you compare this class with other 2 warrior classes, Paladin and Gunlancer, then you will notice that Berserker have higher attack damage and increased mobility. Weapon of this class is a giant greatsword, really beautiful weapon, and skill animations are really beautiful and powerful, but sadly little bit slower than skill animations for other classes. This class is very powerful damage dealer, especially when you enter rage mode, during which your attack speed and range are greatly increased. Berserker is performing great in both PvP and in PvE, and it's also a beginners friendly class, so easy to learn and to play kind of class. Regarding engravings, which are best for this class, that's a story for another video, but just to let you know, if you're a new player to Lost Ark, engravings are passive buffs that increases the customization of your class a lot. Bad sides of Berserker: when you play it under the fingers, that long animations of skills are a little bit annoying, but in time you will get used to it. And on the end we have fourth class, which is beginners friendly, and that is Scrapper. Scrapper is a melee class under the martial artist profession. You probably know this class from before by another name, Infighter, and let me just say that the old name, in my opinion, is much better than new one. Scrapper is using two huge fists for hitting enemies. Stagger buffs and skills are main characteristics of this class. Stagger is a mechanic of Lost Ark that allows players to knock down enemies and bosses. This class is able to apply buffs to herself and to her party, and also applies debuffs to the enemy targets. In general, you will have very enjoyable gameplay and performance during PvE and PvP. Scrapper is a class with excellent attack damage, defense stats and mobility, so what could you ask more from one beginners friendly class? If you enjoy to play on classes which are punching their way throughout enemy lines, then this is a class for you. Regarding recommended builds for this class, yes, of course, there are some meta builds for PvE and for PvP gameplay, but in general, you can build up your skills of this class any way you want without doing some huge mistake. There are very few other classes in Lost Ark which are offering that possibility. Also, out of all classes in today's video, and overall out of all classes of Lost Ark, this class feels under the fingers as easiest to play and handle, but at the same time you'll have decent damage output in PvE and in PvP. So regarding classes of Lost Ark, overall looking, let's start here with warrior profession. You can see here in front of you Berserker, Paladin and Gunlancer. Out of these three classes, for sure, Berserker is very friendly class and also a very powerful class. Paladin and Gunlancer, don't mind my video by any means. I mean, if you want to play Paladin or Gunlancer, try to play them. They are both amazing classes. However, Berserker feels a little bit more simple to play. Let's go further with martial artists. Here we have Striker, War Dancer, Scrapper and Soulfist, and out of these four classes, absolutely, Scrapper is most simple to play, beginners friendly class. Other classes, Striker, War Dancer and Soulfist, are really beautiful classes to play also. However, there are certain mechanics which they have which are not so beginners friendly, so it's not easy to master them as Scrapper. Let's go forward with Gunners. Here we have Gunslinger, Artillerist, Deadeye and Sharpshooter. Out of these four classes, Sharpshooter, absolutely beginners, very friendly, very powerful in PvP. When we are talking in generally about all classes of Lost Ark, Sharpshooter feels very good in PvP because of that long-ranged attacks. Then we have here mages, and you have noticed probably that during today's video regarding beginners friendly classes, I didn't mention bard, either sorcerers. We didn't get a summoner, which is also a mage class, because sorcerers have replaced summoner for release. However, maybe in today's video I would put summoner as a beginners friendly class, but we will not have it for release of Lost Ark in the West. Bard is beautiful class to play. Sorceress, also new class of Lost Ark, amazing class. However, beginners friendly, not that much. Check my video from like 1 week ago, maybe a little bit longer. I have made a dedicated video where I'm comparing Bard and Sorceress, two completely different classes. Bard is a support class, Sorceress is a one real mage class, damage dealer. However, I have made a specific video regarding that topic, Bard versus Sorceress, where you can see all the good sides and bad sides of each of these classes. So check that video for more information regarding Bard and Sorceress. However, like I said, in today's video, I would put Summoner as a class which is beginners friendly to play. However, we will see that class Summoner in some future updates probably released in the West. And on the end, we have two amazing classes, two assassins, Shadowhunter and Deathblade. Both of these classes are absolutely amazing. Shadowhunter is much easier to play and much more enjoyable, I would say. However, also Deathblade is also one amazing class to play. Both of these classes, Assassins of Lost Ark, are something special. So you will not make mistake if you pick any of these two classes. However, if you're a new player, if you want to learn on one step-by-step way, easier way, different mechanics of this game, then pick Shadowhunter. Let me know in the comments below video which class will you play as your main and which classes you will play as alts. If you are interested into MMORPGs, check my YouTube channel for lots of gameplay videos, guides, news and reviews from world of MMORPG gaming with main focus on new upcoming PC MMORPGs and of course on Lost Ark. Thank you for watching the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more Lost Ark videos in the future. See you soon.